welcome to Mego Museum's Vintage Mego. I'm Brian, your host, and this week we're going to talk about some world's greatest superheroes in the form of the Captain America car, by Mego, of course. You may say to yourself, Cap doesn't drive a car. If anything, he's mainly pictured on motorcycles. And well, my friends, you're right. So let's explain how this got to be a thing in the first place. To set the frame, the world's greatest superheroes were dominating the boys' action figure category by the mid-1970s. They seriously became the ones to beat. One of the smartest ideas the company acted on was in 1974. They made a series of vehicles for Batman. That never really had been done before in an action figure scale, and it was a monster hit for the company. In one interview, Marty Abrams stated that Kmart alone took 300,000 Batmobiles in a year. That's just one retailer. And while action figure sales are great, pricier vehicles are even better. So Mego began to look for the next big thing to capitalize on. In 1975, Mego would try to repeat the Bat magic by offering the Mobile Bat Lab and the Jokermobile, both of which were merely retooled Action Jackson Campmobiles. They were pretty pricey and not as top a seller as I think they hoped. For 1976, Mego would give Batman a rest and look at other characters. There was one problem. Not many other superhero characters had signature vehicles, especially the Marvel characters, who were mainly Manhattan-based. Despite this logic, Mego decided upon 3 new superhero vehicles for 1976. For the DC side, the Green Arrow car actually did make sense. It did exist in the comics, although I think at the time, Green Arrow wasn't using it. For the 2 best-selling Marvel characters, we got the Spider car and our subject today. And yes, until the Incredible Hulk TV series took off, Captain America was easily the second best-selling Marvel character Mego made. He even managed to make it to the very last assortment in 1982. Now, unlike the Batmobile, all of these new superhero vehicles had an action or a gimmick. This is something that would be very commonplace in the 1980s, but it was kind of new for the 1970s. Green Arrow car shot darts, Spider car had a web trap, and the Captain America car has a pretty awesome flip-out shield deflector. You can use it to smite your enemies. The packaging art was done by Neil Adams' Continuity Studios, and it's pretty gorgeous. The instructions are also pre-printed on the box as well. Not that this toy is hard to figure out. The vehicles sold for about $6 and up, and unfortunately, the Americar and the Aero car were not picked up by any major department store wish books that year. That's pretty make or break for something this pricey. Those wish books, however, did pick up the Spider car, which remained in Mego's offering in one form or another right until the end. We'll do a feature on the Spider car in another episode, but let's just say Spidey was so popular, he could sell kids a car that he didn't actually have. So the Aero car and Americar were quickly phased out after only 1 year of production, making them harder to find and, well, pretty darn desirable on the secondary market. There are a few common points of damage to look out for when you're looking for one of these. The roof is known to crack, and of course, it's hard to find one where the shield deflector mechanism isn't broken. To get a decent boxed Captain America car, you're probably going to have to spend upwards of $400 these days. I saw these in a Heroes World ad as a kid. Captain America is by and large my favorite world's greatest superhero, especially when I was a kid. Unfortunately, Parkdale Novelty chose not to import these into Canada, and I had to settle for the Spider car, which honestly wasn't such a bad compromise. I was happy as a kid, and I tracked this down pretty early in my adult collecting career. Just want to take a few seconds to mention that the second issue of Toy Ventures magazine is now available. It features a comprehensive article on the Mego Denny Fisher Doctor Who line, and if you're a fan of this channel, you might want to consider checking it out. Thanks everybody for watching this week's Vintage Mego. If you're new to this, I hope you'll consider hitting like and subscribe. I'd love to know your thoughts on the Captain America car in the comments below. You can also hit me up at Megomania, our Facebook group, or in the forums at MegoMuseum.com. Until next time, take care, talk toys, not others. Be well.